This is real quick for Trinity. I see that you have. I was going to write just a 500 character comment, but I saw that you had to approve my comment, and so I thought about fairly the video response too. So I want you to watch this, and I dare you to post this on the comment page. I dare you to. I mean, I see this a lot with people that are pro Obama. They want. I write a comment, and it has to be pending their approval. They don't just post it. You write a comment name in my pages on my YouTube channel, Chuck Burns 4 of the USA, and it's the number 4, not the FOR, no spaces when you write between Chuck Burns 4, number 4, and USA. I let anybody post. And videos, it goes up. I mean, the videos don't go up right away. I think they have like a delay on it, but they go up no matter what, and I would never not post one because somebody left a comment that I didn't like. I would respond to it. But I would never make them even think for a second that I would possibly be, should I extend my royal courtesy of exposing, of displaying a comment on my page? No. Fair and balanced. And I'm equitable to people. But you don't go on and talk to this guy above in the top 2 comments up there in the page for the football, like I'm going back racist video, but the thing he leaves the excerpt from Obama's book, It Begins with My Father. He said anti-American, so he didn't put anything anti-white American, African American. He didn't say anything, it's American. He's not being racist. He's showing with Obama's excerpt in his book, Begins with My Father, that Obama is being racist. That he's the one using terms, racial-based labeling terms to identify things and assign something to somebody like a value of some sort, whether it's plus or minus bad or good or bad. With his mother, is something like that. It's like that's he's using race to to give value or find the quantitative worth of that person for whatever reason. You see that's Obama using race, not the poster. And I noticed that you go on with the race labeling right below it. And in fact, even before that, the title for the video is why I watched it, because I know what you're trying to do. You put racist in the title, and you put around it, because guess what? You're fishing for an audience. You're fishing for people like the black community who have been lied to by Democrats for a long time. I mean, there was a Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. Jim Crow gun control laws in the South to keep blacks from having guns to defend themselves from the KKK, passed all by Democratic legislators who didn't let them go vote Republican. These were the guys that were going to let them in the schools. They were the Democrats. And the Democrats who pushed the biggest thing of all, and one of the big things they pushed, and I think you should be able to have an abortion, by the way, before I preface this statement with that, because if you're right in your body, if you don't believe in God, then you're allowed to, and I shouldn't push a religious-based belief upon you, and I shouldn't put my laws in your body. I just ask you to keep your hands in my pocket, and I don't want to fund the company that supports it. You can do what you want, don't use my money. I'm all about freedom. But Planned Parenthood, started by Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was into eugenics, a huge racist, and you know what she said? She said that a Planned Parenthood abortion, a great way to control the Negro. She said that. Blacks. People you support that are for Planned Parenthood, its founder said that it was a great way to control you. I mean, blacks voting for Democrats is like the biggest farce in the world. It's like one of the best pulled off lies actually in this ever. It's like it's next to like freaking like Hitler getting everybody to follow him and burning the Jews later on. It's like he was on us bad front. It's like Democrats. They mislead them to think that the black community think they're on their side, while they devalue the father with welfare checks and they keep them. And you ask right now, Obama's president, are they doing any better? No, they're not. Because they want to keep it divided and keep them angry. Because guess what? Then they keep voting for them. It's just like how they don't want to solve the immigration issue really, because then they don't have that carrot to hold in front of Latinos anymore. When really the only president that gave Latinos any kind of amnesty was who? Ronald Reagan, a Republican. Holy smokes! The lies are abundant. Few people that support the people that don't want to have them be equal. It's astounding to me. Stop dividing our country with race, Trinity. Stop helping those people out. Start looking at people without a skin color and say they don't have one. They're just people. And I don't know, I got a Border Patrol hat on. It's not because I want Mexicans coming here. I think all our ancestors are immigrants. I think that they should be allowed to come here. We certainly don't want the criminals. We don't want people packing weed on their backs across the border. So that's actually legalized drugs. They should do it because it's converting a right to a crime. You have the right to your body and what you put in it, as long as you don't force it or make other people deal with the shit that happens when you do it. You can go die in your fucking apartment living room, fucking shot up with heroin. Be my guest. So, I'm all for them. I'm with the good ones, but then at the same time, though, I don't want them just coming here illegally. I do not support that. I don't think that's a good premise for you to start a relationship with the country by breaking its laws. Yeah, we need to make it easier for them to get here, but as much as we need to make it easy for them to get here, the good ones, make it not so complicated and mucked up, we gotta lock the border down. And if we make it so that the good ones can come, take away the incentive for the bad guys by legalizing drugs, taking away the drug trade, we're gonna solve our problem almost right there. You know? And then maybe back to their country, Mexico, they'll work on making their stuff better instead of just coming up here and escaping to us. That's a real sad part, as they leave their country in decay and come here. Instead of fixing it for their family and friends that are still there, trying to make the place that some of their family's still stuck in better. Which is really the more noble goal. I mean, it's irrelevant though. It's irrelevant. You be honest in this debate. You be honest about who's on what side. When you have supporters, you have their trust honestly. Not because you lied to them. I don't even want to fault liberals. Because, I know you being a liberal or being a Obama supporter or progressive, however you want to term it, it speaks to your character and to your credit. I mean it like this because, for example, gun control. You don't want guns to hurt people. You don't want anybody to die. You don't want anybody to get killed. I don't either. I don't like the wars over there. People are going to fight each other over in the Middle East, whether we're there or not, and whether we're there for 20 years or 50 years. I don't like people dying. Nobody does. Unless you're a sick, psychotic fuck. But nobody does. And liberals are like, guns to hurt people. Well, people hurt people, not guns, first off. But besides the point, I digress. You want to do something to help people and not have them die. And that's why you want guns to be taken, not to hurt people. It's noble in and of itself, but it's naive. You can't uninvent the gun. You can't pass laws because criminals don't follow them. Only the good people get subjugated by the laws, and the criminals don't have the guns. Now we're unarmed. And look at every history over the past 100 years. 200 million people have died at the hands of regimes that disarmed them. I mean, that's not to count the hundreds of millions more on top of that, even more than the 200. I think the actual figure is almost like 500 million have died as a byproduct of that situation, like starvation, in Africa. I mean, it's insane. And so, you look at it in that regard, in that light, it's like, it's a bad gun control, it's a bad thing, but you guys want it because you don't want people to get hurt. And I get that. It speaks to your character. You're a good person. You want the best for people. We have to be realistic about the world we live in and the fact that you can't uninvent the gun. People are not inherently good, and that's what actually liberalism is all predicated upon, is man's inherent goodness. That doesn't make sense, because man isn't good and strives to be bad. No, man is slightly evil, and we strive to maintain our good character and strive to be good. That's why doing the right thing is always harder. Doing the wrong thing, or the easy thing, it's exactly that. The easy thing. That's wrong. I mean, it's an obvious path of the universe, or like a pattern of the universe, that man is inherently, Christian, you could say sinful, or you could just say evil if you're atheist. And we strive to do good because it's a harder thing. It takes more moral character and uprightness. And because of that, when saying that, though, now you can't count on the good of man. And you're counting on the good of man. I mean, because in gun control, you're counting on when you pass a gun law, the criminal all of a sudden, because you passed that new law, that one, it was the one for him, that you think this law should be the one where they go, you know what? You're right. You should give up our guns to you, man. Why would we be killing each other? Why are we doing all this good stuff? You know, it's like, no, they're not going to do that all of a sudden. It's self-delusion of the worst kind, really. But I'll leave it at that and just say, tell you that it's got to stop. You got to stop raping people. This is a 2-year-old video, that's why I thought I'd post this right now, because I was saying, like, it's kind of used to talking about how tired people trying to cast the bomb in a negative light. Look at now. Look at the IRS. Look at them targeting groups. And don't act like he didn't know. I mean, it's getting narrower and narrower. The needle, the eye of the needle, he has to correct and say he didn't know anything. Benghazi, where people died, and he went to bed. Probably the ambassador and the assistant, I probably could have done anything about that. They should have more security than they could have been. But he went to bed before those 7 hours later, those 2 SEALs died. And the best excuse they can come up with is, well, we couldn't have gotten anybody there in time because they attacked for only 7 hours. Well, you didn't know that unless you're talking to the enemy and you're cahoots with them, which is even worse. How do you know how long the attack's going to go on for? You just hit go on everything you have just to be open and save some Americans. But he didn't. But he was running on his foreign policy for the election, and and how this is like where he was a maverick and doing good, and that happening in Benghazi to dismantle that argument. And so he let 2 people die. He made the SEALs. Look at Extortion 17 in Afghanistan, where they put in place in the military policies, and he's got something to do with this. Believe you me, there's paperwork, a paper trail a mile long on this one, where people are getting raises and promotions in the military based on how many missions they slay for special forces, regardless of whether or not they have the aircraft to do it. Because they didn't have the aircraft, they got these SEALs on the freaking 70s airframe, fucking CH-46 Chinook, Navy SEALs, the same ones who got Bin Laden. And they didn't let them give suppressive fire to the valley they went to. They didn't let them come in first, but like C-130 gunship and just get the people on the rooftops rocket launchers to kind of duck the cover while they came in and dropped the guys off. No, they sent them in there. Told them they couldn't shoot at somebody until they shot at them twice, pretty much. So if they duck back behind cover, you can't shoot them still because you don't know if when they duck back behind cover they put the gun down or not. When that person's already shot at you once, no. Now if you shoot at an American soldier once, you get to shoot back. And that Obama is attached to this in a major way, and like it's going to come out. The families are real upset. You should look it up for him. No, and that's what his hands. You got his buddy Eric Holder, who is like, I don't know why he couldn't get rid of that guy. It's like a weight dragging him down. He was like saying, "Oh, why would the receive the reason to investigate the press?" And that comes out that his name is on the Rosen subpoenas in the warrant. Lied. They're trying to say, well, no, they didn't prosecute. One, so. But he might have, if he filed a subpoena thinking he might get the information, right, which means he was potentially going to, unless he was lying and had no intention of prosecuting, and was just doing it to get records so they knew what Fox News and Rosen were up to, which then is really bad. The point is, this is nowhere good to go. I mean, that's the facts. But when you got people calling him saying, "Oh, you're just saying about Obama because you're racist." No, I'm saying about because I don't like the IRS going after people. I mean, there's a reason the founding fathers they did not give the federal government the right to levy an income tax against people. That was added in 1913. The income tax from the federal government is only 100 years old. And you see, there's as much wisdom there in what the founding fathers left out of the Constitution as what they put in. I say that because they knew that the power for one agency in the federal government to be able to tax anybody in the country and the ability to enforce that law or amendment would be such a huge concentration of power in one agency that it had the potential to run over freedom and trample it. And what do we see now? A lot of wisdom in our founders. Post my video, post my response, I dare you. Give people an honest shot to hear the real truth. Or at least their side. You disagree, you don't think I got the truth? I know I do. But, and it's not subjective, it's not just I think I have it. No, I know it is. I have the moral rectitude to stand here and tell you, I know you're wrong and I'm right. I'm not trying to be a cocky asshole, it sounds that way, but no, I mean the facts are the facts. The world is the world. The way things turn is the way they turn. There's nothing else. It's black and white, gray, no gray, and that's how it is. Everything is not relative, it is universal. I dare you to put this up there. It'll be a tablet testing for your character. I can put it up there, hopefully. Because if you put it up there, same with this guy. I got a cat. I look at my cat. His name's Mac. Mac Tour, Snap on Tour. Good cat. But dare you to put this up there because this is the other side. Be fair and honest. If your stuff is so good and your truth is so sound and you're so sure of your facts, why not put mine up there? Because if you're that sure, you know yours will win. That's not the way it is it? Have a good day.